You guys know there's pizza.
Oh, yeah. I could smell it as soon as I stepped in. I can smell it from 20 feet away. That's my superpower. I can also hear pudding from 30 feet away.
Welcome to the Green Hill Gamer Guild podcast. I'm your host and GM, Joshua. We are an actual play podcast focusing on character-driven narrative and humorous interactions between friends. We love telling stories through tabletop gaming and hope you enjoy our stories too. I have a special surprise for you.
Yeah.
For your character, for Russ. Okay, so first, last time, who wants to recap? Actually, there's a new custom move I want to do.
Previously on Masks. Let's see, from previous memory, I think that Marionette, the incident there, you scolded me for showing up late. I had a minivan, I don't have a flying car, and I don't run very fast. Don't expect me to show up right on time all the times. But, obviously, my super awesome deception moveset was enough to get them to knock each other out, so who's the hero now, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see, then you took the flying car to meet up with the League of Superheroes, and you took a selfie. Yeah. And then you lost the flying car that they gave you, so you're probably not going to get another one.
I mean, I did get a lot of likes for the selfie, so.
Trade-offs, right?
Yeah. You know, you went selfies and stuff.
Let's see, we fought a guy who could apparently absorb heat radiation, and then redirect it through a super suit. We took care of him because he was not going to. He's a prologue. He's not the main chapter.
Yeah.
Oh. And then I remember I kind of, mentioned at the very end, once is random, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern, and 3 people's brains have been influenced somehow. So, there's that.
Yeah. That you know of.
Yeah. Silence.
Okay, here it is. Recap page. Beginning of the session, narrator recap page summarizing the events of the previous session, which you did. If you do, choose 1. If you narrate the page in character, which you did, choose 2. Clear a condition, shift one of your labels up and one label down.
So I get both of them?
Yeah. If you have any conditions, clear one of them.
I think I was afraid due to our last encounter and getting the heebie-jeebies from the mental shock, so I will clear that.
And then you can shift a label up and a label down.
Okay. I can't shift figure any further down. I'm already maxed up on superior. I will take mundane to 0 and freak to 2.
And you can't do 2 recaps in a row, so next session somebody else will have to do it. And I'll have this printed out for next time.
Cool.
Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of a post your guys' fight from the last session.
Now, did we decide on like a name to call that dude? Because I don't remember him giving us a name. Like, I am the greatest.
Eagle told you the name that the previous person who used the equipment was, which was Negasun. So that is the name more than likely that'll be used, but you guys can obviously influence that in the upcoming reporters situation. Who's sticking around for reporters? The snow, you guys are still on, in the warehouse district, on the dock. The snow's melted.
I thought I talked to that.
You did for the Marionette situation,
Okay.
Not for this one. There's a news chopper now that flies in. That was the second one that was up, because the one got blasted down. And then the second one comes over and actually lands nearby, and they're the first reporters to come out and talk to you guys.
I don't suppose that's the same network where our TV anchor friend is at.
Let's find out. I'm trying to remember his name.
So when we were running around doing pool hustles and stuff, was that after this fight or after?
That was after the Marionette.
Okay.
Before the... Yeah, you guys noticed that the TV anchor that's there's a cameraman with him, of course, but the on-scene reporter is Dex Rhodes, who you guys saved from the Greaseball Lightning incident with the statues. So he comes up and sees you guys. Who's anybody doing anything to hide from him?
I'm not clearly on camera, but I am nearby.
Okay. You're just gonna let yourself be seen and everything? Yeah. No hide. Okay. No stealth. What's Wheels doing? Is he sticking around too?
Yeah.
Okay. So he comes up and he says, that was amazing. I want to get an interview real quick.
Sure.
I know there's a lot of cleanup here, but we'll take care of that after we get a few words. What made you decide to come out here and handle this?
Well, the league, it's not the league.
Exemplar.
The exemplars were a little bit busy tackling a bigger problem. They had total confidence that we could take down Negasun's replacement, so we decided to come out today and do just that.
That's amazing. You guys did a fantastic job. We were watching from over there, and it was just an extraordinary scene. Who are your friends here? We know who you are, Hawk. Everybody knows Hawk.
All right.
Everybody knows Hawk, and everybody knows Eagle.
I'm going to take time to introduce Greaseball Lightning, Jax, and Deke. Oh, Wheels.
Freudian slip.
Definitely not Greaseball Lightning. This is Wheels. Totally separate people.
Totally different guys.
Yeah.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Possibly
Now, your costume doesn't really look anything like your future selves, though, right? You
No.
use like a ninja suit kind of thing. Okay. So when you make that slip, he just kind of he throws you a solid, and he just kind of glosses over it. He's like, "You're a speedster. I bet you're better than that greaseball." What do you have to say? Anything?
Oh, I'm really fast.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And who's your other friend here?
This is Jax.
Jax. I don't think we've ever seen anybody quite as stealthy as you.
Wow, thank you. It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress.
Obviously,
That's fantastic.
she does need a little bit more work.
Yeah.
Okay, and you mentioned Deke, but he doesn't even know you're there, right?
Yeah.
Because you're keeping yourself. Okay. So he asks about the person you mentioned who's not around. He's like, "Who's this?" You said Deke?
Yeah.
What's that stand for?
He's a little bit camera shy, but that's just his name.
That's amazing. You are an amazing team. What is the name of your team?
Did we come up with anything yet?
You use Super Punks with the exemplar.
Oh yeah, the Super Punks.
Is that what you tell them?
Yeah.
All right. The Super Punks. I like that. That's got an edge to it. You could go far with that, kid. And then he kind of closes the interview down, and then that's when you start hearing the cop cars arrive and everything's coming. And I'm actually comfortable leaving that scene right there. I just wanted to throw that at the end of it. But if you guys want to do something with the nighttime of the last day of summer, that's fine. Otherwise, we can just cut to the next thing.
I vote that we all take a group, hangout and go to the pier. Because they have a Ferris wheel there for no apparent reason now.
Is that what you guys want to do?
Sure.
All right. Is this a celebration?
Well, it's like
Celebration
we didn't
/
die.
lamentation of last day of summer.
We didn't die.
So everybody do your celebration moves. We'll start with Jax. What's your... When you...
Oh.
The team moves. I'm
That's right.
picturing you guys are all on the Ferris wheel. And I'm thinking it's one of the big gondola ones that has like they look almost like umbrella covered.
Oh.
The ones that rock back and forth.
Yeah, and you can
Obviously, Deke is going to be, rocking it back and forth, and you guys are going to be stop. Come on, it's not going to ever roll over.
So what does your move say? Let's just
So
start.
tell them how they're awesome and add a team to the pool.
All right, so who are you going to say?
I have to just pick one. I think they were all pretty awesome. I think Hawk was, just getting us in there and taking the initiative. Is a true leader. We felt good having you head us up.
Sweet.
How do you respond to that?
Mystery thing. What was I supposed to do?
What's the other half of the move? You tell them that they're
If they tell you
awesome.
how you're awesome in return, add another team to the pool. So we add a team to the pool for my awesome.
You did a great job there too. You totally stole in to the building and you were stealthy the whole time. Got that weapon away from the other guy and disabled that guard. So.
Yeah, the super boost that we gave you,
Yeah,
helped out too.
that's right. We did. Prop.
What's your celebrate with the team move?
I get to ask someone, Geek, do you think my future self could have won that battle?
Alone? No.
So now, it's you to shift my labels.
Let's see. I'm gonna make you more dangerous and less freakish.
Okay.
So shift your danger up and your freak down.
Do you think I've been a good leader? Or an effective teammate?
Effective teammate, yes. Effective leader, you could have showed up a little bit earlier.
If they say yes, your mentor loses influence over you, and if they say no, your mentor gains influence over you.
Did he already have influence?
I thought you dropped influence from Eagle.
When you approached him at the Exemplar headquarters and you were talking with him, he gave you influence back.
Okay. Need a way to track that.
So if he would gain influence over you and you're unable,
take +1 forward on using the label your mentor embodies.
okay. So next time you use the label that he embodies, which is superior, you'll get an additional +1.
That's nice.
Yep. The max you can get on any roll is a +4.
Oh,
because even with the snake eyes, a +4 still is a failure.
Okay.
So at least, there's always that chance of failing. Just like the whole 1 on a 20 in a D20 game. Deke, what's your team?
Well, I know that I'm cool. I'm guessing you guys still think I'm pretty cool. Come on.
Yeah.
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 Kind of pulled it out there at the end for us.
Yeah.
I mean, I did have the most pivotal point of distracting him and then giving you the idea to stick the thing in his chest hole area. So, yeah.
So what happens when you're moved?
Then gain influence, but I think that's already going to have influence over everyone. So,
okay. Does anything else happen this night before you guys?
I steal some cotton candy when no one's looking.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. Because while I have money, I don't want to spend it.
Is everybody else cool moving on?
Yeah.
I really want to get rid of at least one of these conditions. I've got 3 right now.
Does anybody want to comfort or support him?
Got afraid, guilty, and insecure. That's quite a condition when someone else comforts you. Okay. So yeah. You guys have me out here.
Well, we'll give you the, here's the thing. You know, I told you I kind of hustle, self-help seminars. I'm going to hustle you a self-help seminar.
All right.
Tony Robbins style. You're great. You're good. You're better than most people. You don't need to be insecure about being a bad teammate and leader.
Gosh darn it, people.
Like you.
That really raised my spirits.
That'd be $25.
Go to that full time. I get under $25.
All right. We good as a group?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So school. First, I want to do a little bit of world building with it, because I want you guys to be able to decide some things about it. So it is decently funded. I'm just going to say that right out the gate.
With a name like Worrell, it should.
Is it traditional or non-traditional?
It's a non-traditional kind of school.
In which ways?
And that people, school uniforms, while available, don't really have to be worn and can be, kind of altered and modified at your discretion. Class scheduling is a lot more freer where you actually get to choose your own courses. The teachers seem to be on a little bit more of a even footing with the students, not overly disciplinarian, but not totally hippie, oh, you're rich kids, we're just gonna give you A's no matter what you do.
So they are still graded.
Yeah. And also, for some reason, the principal decides to dress in a bunny suit once a month as a joke if everyone's been doing a good job in class or something like that. I don't know.
Well, his way is the good way.
Yeah.
Did we decide if superheroes were affiliated with our school at all? Posing as teachers? Is it Sky High or just a traditional, actual...
It is a school for troubled kids. So what that means is up to you. It can be people who have powers that have somehow misused them, or it can be any kids. It can be civilians too. That's entirely up to you guys. I have no preference.
I think there's civilians in there too. Just, make
Yeah.
So it's kind of mixed in.
Maybe the counselors could be, maybe 1 or 2 of the school counselors could be more like us, whether openly or not.
All right, how's the scheduling? So block scheduling, single day scheduling?
I always like block scheduling.
4 classes a day.
Okay, we'll go with that. And do any of you have classes together?
Well, we're seniors, so we might, but being junior and sophomore levels, I don't think they would be taking the same one unless we're taking just kind of bullshit courses to pad our grades.
Are you?
Well, obviously I would. Get around with the least amount of work possible.
Study hall or
Library.
What kind of BS class is it? Library
science.
Library and Introduction to Ceramics.
There you go.
Who's in the library class together? And who's in the... What was the other one?
Introduction to Ceramics.
That's awesome.
I like the library one. I'm in that one.
Okay. Who else is in the library one? I feel like that's something that...
He's pushing me to take like all super hard classes.
Yeah, but I think the library one, because of the research and referencing that you constantly have to do,
Yeah.
that would be like the reason that you would be able to get away with saying, I want to take this if your character would go that way.
Alright.
I don't want to force you into anything though, so if it's not your deal, then...
Yeah, that works.
You don't have any classes yet.
No.
No. And there's a reason for that. You're going to be the first scene in school, and it's going to be you registering.
Oh.
Who's got the intro to ceramics?
I do.
Anybody else?
Not on the team, but there is someone of note. Johann Kincaid. He's kind of like the school valedictorian, brown-noser. He basically is a narc. Why is he doing in this class? I can only assume it's to watch out for me for some reason.
Alright. Wheels. The main entrance is kind of like a huge atrium, and it has like a mezzanine, but it's mostly glass. Like, almost all of it. But there's Warhol replica paintings like everywhere. And you are looking at the paintings, obviously, when you come in, because you're from 1949, being like, what the fuck is this? This is not art.
The Brillo box is just sitting on the middle of a shelf. Trash.
What the hell? But, so you're wandering around looking a little confused for a moment, and then you notice that there's like an office to the left that seems to be the like front area. So, when you go in, there's a rather severe-looking secretary in there, and she's got a little name plaque that says Ms. Rockwell. And she goes, "You look familiar. Have a seat," and points to one of the chairs that's over by the window. And then, do you listen to her, or you...
Yeah, I'll go have a seat.
Oh, the best part. What you're wearing. I'll let you pick your shirt.
Oh, man.
Perfect. Oh, it's the plaid with the gray sleeves.
He's dressed up so nicely. And you've got those 40s high-waisted pants.
Yes.
Like Robert Mitchum.
Like riding the belly, riding the belly button hard. It's like up there with a belt, shirt all tucked in. It's one of the few things you had when you came forward in time. So you're sitting there, and there's Ms. Rockwell sitting there as well. Some lady comes in, and when she sees you, she like stops in her tracks and just looks at you for a second. And then she goes over to Ms. Rockwell and hands her what she had in her hands. And then you hear him whispering, and it's like, "He looks like that greaseball lightning. He looks just like him, doesn't he?" And Ms. Rockwell's like, "He does. We'll have to keep an eye on him." Oh. So, while you're sitting there, after that happens, Principal Goodway comes out. Goodway's like this jovial dude. He's got the crown of hair, the bald, big shiny bald head. He makes a great clown. Loves the bunny suit. And he comes out and he's like, "Oh, are you Russ Baker?"
Yeah.
"You're supposed to be in my office right now.
Yeah.
How did I lose you out here? Come on in."
Alright.
And he kind of leads you into this little side, there's like a little side hallway, and he's all the way at the end in his office. Inside of his office, instead of Warhol paintings, there's like paintings of clowns and bunnies and just really random circusy type stuff. And he's got a little carousel of horses that looks like it's a music thing. You probably recognize it from
Back in the day.
Yeah, from back in the day. It's an antique. It's antique now. Back then it was probably brand new. So he sits you down, and he's just like, "It's amazing to have a time-displaced individual in our school. Now, I know not many people are supposed to know that, but the exemplars have a good relationship with the school. And they let me know that you traveled through time, so we're going to have to treat you a little delicately, and that's okay. Now, this is a tablet, and he picks up, like, a tablet and hands it to you. He's like, there's a button on the side. You just click it. The tablet pops open. And this lock, you can just unlock it, and you have all your functions right there for your schoolwork. You guys all have these, by the way.
I've hacked mine.
Of course you have. He's like, all your homework can be done on there and sent from any place with Wi-Fi. Oh, pardon me. Wi-Fi. That's wireless fidelity, I think. I don't remember what it's actually called. What does it do? It's things in the air that allow you to access information. It's amazing. He's like, we're going to hook you up with a peer mentor who will show you around. Now, since we didn't want to have you pick your classes and not know what you were getting into, we gave you a basic slate of classes. There's 2 of them in there that are, I think, fairly easy ones, personally. We did that just for you. You have 1 on each day. 1 is going to be library science. The other one's going to be intro to ceramics.
Awesome.
You'll be good. You'll have a good first day. Now, Shelly's out there. That's the girl that's going to show you around, your peer mentor. One thing about that tablet, though, that's a grant from the city. So if you break it or something like that, your guardians are going to have to pay for it.
Oh, no.
Speaking of which, who are your guardians? We didn't have that on file.
Did have it on file. Well,
obviously you can't use your parents because I'm sure they passed.
Yeah.
But
My older sister is alive, and
your younger older sister. That is such a sentence. Wow, your younger older sister. That's gotta be such a twist of the mind. Now, you'll do great here. You just have to remember, my way is the good way. And always go the good way.
always go the good way.
Okay, you can run on out there and talk to Shelly.
Awesome. Eyes are freaking me out.
That's working. He makes notes about your guardian being your sister, Rita. So when you go out there, you see a young girl. She's got red hair tied back in a ponytail, facial piercing, and she's kind of got like darker clothing on. And she's messing with her phone when you come out there a little bit. And then she kind of chews her gum and pops it once. And Miss Rockwell, when she pops it, she's like, glares at the girl. And then she sees you, and she's like, oh, hey, I'm Shelly. What the heck are you wearing?
What the heck are you wearing?
This is in right now.
In?
Yeah. I could show you 15 selfies of famous people that wore something just like this.
Cool.
She's like, I'm supposed to show you around, so let's go ahead and take care of that. So she takes you out and around, shows you your different classes, where your locker is, all the normal stuff. While you're out there, though, she goes, you know, I recognize that you look like that lightning guy. And you notice she didn't say greaseball. She just says lightning.
Oh.
And she's like, I always thought he got a bad rap.
Why
I
is
know
that?
that's not a popular opinion, but I thought he had a bad rap. He had that fight with the Adonis. Everybody takes Adonis's side because he's the golden boy. But they had that huge fight, and nobody's bothered to try and figure out why that fight started. It's not even a record. Nobody has it written down anywhere about how the fight started. They just have this big idea in their head that Lightning fought Adonis, and what a horrible person, because how could he fight someone who's so perfect? Well, I just don't think that that's the case.
Interesting.
I think you've got a thing there you can mark on one of your stuff if you're interested in marking it. It's ultimately your decision. But how he fell from grace thing. So she takes you to your first class, which for the sake of getting other people in here is library class. Did you see what I'm talking about? It's like the top ones. As you find out things that happened,
Okay.
you can circle them.
So they publicly battled another hero.
Mm-hmm. That was what I was trying to lead you to, just because I wanted you to be able to use that.
Okay.
So that you knew how it worked, because I'm going to be peppering them throughout. In the future, I probably won't call out when I'm doing it.
Okay.
But it's ultimately your decision. If something just doesn't sound right that I pepper in there,
Okay.
then you can just, This I figured was obvious because you guys already stopped him from replacing an Adonis statue.
Yeah.
So when she drops you off, she goes, "Can I get your cell number? We can keep in touch. And if you have any questions, whether it's school related or not, you can hit me up."
I do. I got 2 questions.
Okay, what?
What's a cell?
I love it. She's like, "Oh, it's one of these. It's a phone, but it's just like the tablet they gave you. It has all the same functions." Yeah. Beck, you're from the past, right?
No.
No?
I just never, I was sheltered.
You Amish?
Possibly.
Never seen an Asian Amish kid.
It's rare.
I guess so. You know what? I'll just find you on Twitter, okay? You have a good day. Well, she just walks away. All right, so
You had 2 questions.
you did. She just completely blew it off. So you're basically in the library. You walk in, and the first person you see is Jasper. Jasper, what are you doing in library class?
Collating. That's my thing. Library science. I'm helping catalog the returns. Collating. Helping to catalog the returns is a big old thing of actual books, which is the best part about this library. Is it has actual books along with like tablets that you can check out now. But this actually has books, and that's
awesome.
where all the older stuff is. So I want to be able to get my hands on all the books before I go back and see what they have.
So you're probably pushing like a cart full of books or whatever, and you see Jasper, and what do you?
Hi there.
Hey, Russ, how you doing? Are you in here for the period?
I think so.
Oh.
I was brought here.
They just left you. That was pretty cool. I mean, the librarian seems to be okay.
What do you do in this class?
Well, this one is just all about the Dewey Decimal System. No.
All about the Dewey Decimal System.
All about the Dewey Decimal System.
I can put books away real fast.
Well, there you go. Well, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, this cart and 3 others just like it. But they also have tablets. Have you done the tablet?
The tablet. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can all work with you on that one, but they have tablets you can check out, just like books. And we'll all do our homework on the tablets, so we can get together and do homework, and I can walk you through that if you want to later. But there's no homework in here, which is the best part about here. And if you get it done fast, you can actually do some homework in the library.
Perfect.
It's pretty cool. Nobody bothers you in here. You just learn, what you might have some useful stuff in here too.
Books useful?
Well, I mean, for our purposes, you're finding out.
Halcyon history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All stuff. Nothing's on this cart too, but I thought that way too I can kind of scope out what people have been taking out. What they're reading, anything we need to worry about.
Do you set to work? Do you use your powers at all?
Oh.
It's pretty how many people are we talking about would take a library science class? Because it only takes like a couple people to put things away.
I'm going to say there's probably like 6 of you maybe.
Yeah.
The other ones are just like doing whatever the heck they want and not even doing what they're supposed to do. You're like the only one doing what you're supposed to do.
That's, it's a beacon.
Except maybe Hawk. I don't know. We'll find out what he's doing when he gets back from the bathroom. He took the hall pass a long time ago.
Yeah. Big block of it in the key. So cool. So I just put these away, and the librarian, is it he?
Sure.
The librarian? Yeah. Mr.
How do we know that the librarian is not actually an artificial construct? We are living in strange times.
That's a valid question. I only know what his name is. What is his name?
Whatever you want it to be.
What is his name?
What is his name?
Mr. Biblio?
Marshal, on your way back from the bathroom with the big, huge pallet thing that you had to take with you, you see, what's BB look like? Your friend BB?
Oh, my friend BB?
What's she look like?
She's a little out there. She's a little noticeable. Today her hair's purple. But, she's got horn-rimmed glasses and purple hair.
So you see a girl with horn-rimmed glasses and purple hair, like, peeking through the library door, because it's got, like glass panels, and she's just like, staring at me. And then you come around, you can see that she's like staring at Jasper and Russ, who are in there talking by this book cart that Jasper has. What do you do? She's like in your way, like you'd have to tell her to move if you wanted to go through the doors. Oh, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. I have a pallet?
Like a paddle.
It's like a big
key
block of wood, like
change
a
your
shop glass or something.
Your hall pass?
Your hall pass, yeah.
I'll just tap it against the glass. Like,
She goes, oh God, I didn't see you there. I'm so sorry. What's your name?
I'm gonna ask her what she's doing.
There's a new kid.
Okay. Okay.
She points at Russ. She's like, he's so cute.
I'll say, if you don't get out of my way, I'm gonna let him know.
Oh, don't do that, please. Okay. She moves. I'll go back to class now. She just takes off.
So I go in there, and I recognize Russ. Jax isn't already, are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm putting books away. There's like big carts of books, and there's also tablets as well. I have books, have tablets now. But
Yeah, what's the librarian's name?
Mr. Gully.
How do you spell that?
Gully.
Mr. Gully. I'm picturing a very thin, wiry man with gray hair.
Looks like a bat.
We can go with that. I think he has like the really thin glasses, like they're round, like the Lennon glasses, but they have the really, really thin frames.
Right.
Yeah. And he is just as bored as you guys.
Yeah. I'm already on his good side because I'll do stuff.
Oh,
the
of course.
The other ones aren't doing anything, which is, they don't want to have anything to do with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because it's work. So.
He's actually inspecting the books that come back to see if there's damage. Right. And if there's any damage, he actually notes who the kid is so that they can be talked to. Mm-hmm. But he looks bored out of his wits. There's no limits on book numbers that you can check out either, because they're trying to foster the atmosphere of whatever resources we have are your resources kind of thing. Okay. So what do you do when you go in and you see them?
Do I know Russ already outside of your way?
That's up to you two. I know nobody knows that you're Hawk. They know you as Marshal.
I'm gonna say, hey new kid, this purple-haired chick was creeping on you.
You, of course.
Yeah. Well, that's Bibi. She kind of creeps on anybody. Don't freak out. But she's good people. She's alright.
Bibi's a creeper.
Yeah, she's good.
It's 2 girls in a day. You're like stalker bait. 40s is in style.
Or this is all part of the evil conspiracy to take over your mind and turn you into greaseball.
What? No. Don't plant that seed. I was telling, we've already established there's only like 6 of you total, so there's like 3 other kids, and they don't do shit. Okay. They just blow off the class completely. And the librarian doesn't care if he lets that happen. Jasper's like the only one that actually does what she's supposed to. Russ is brand new. And I don't know.
So I'm just having...
So are you...
I use it as like study hall, but to research outside of school topics.
Okay, that makes sense.
This is we're putting books away. We could like put books away near you.
Yeah.
We could,
So is there anything in particular you guys are... Well, you don't know that he's a hero, so... But you do know he's interested in a lot of Halcyon stuff.
Oh, that's right, he's Marshal. Okay.
I'm looking at old sewer maps of the city and just like all the old information that I could get and like comparing it through timelines.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Deke.
Mm-hmm.
What class is Memo in right now?
Memo is in chemistry.
He's in chemistry. So when you're in chemistry, they're actually in the middle of an experiment that they want you to put together. Who's your partner? Are you partnering with somebody in particular?
I'm a transfer student from the Ukraine named Vika. I have absolutely no idea what she's saying half the time.
So you guys are just about to start your experiment, and you can tell she's not following the damn thing that she's supposed to be doing. Somebody comes to we'll just say it's Miss Rockwell because we've already met her. She comes to the room and knocks on the door, and Who's the teacher?
Mr. Gill.
1L?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Gill has the goggles on, and he's like in the middle of pouring something, and then as soon as he's done, it like changes color and does this weird like stuff.
Foaming?
Yeah, it starts to foam a little bit and stuff. And Miss Rockwell's like, Mr. Gill, excuse me. I need Memo Morales.
Didn't do it.
It's very important that you come to the office immediately.
We have important science stuff to do.
I'm sure she can handle it. She points to Vika.
Yeah. Mr. Gill, don't let this reflect on my grade.
He's like, don't worry, Memo, I got you.
Mm.
He starts to swirl the thing he just mixed.
Okay, Vika, whatever you do mix the green and the yellow. Just don't do that, alright? No green, no yellow. And she just nods with maybe not even understanding that I said green and yellow. She might actually think, like, mix the green and yellow. I don't know.
Alright. So, do you follow Miss Rock?
Yeah.
Okay, as you're walking, she's like, I don't know what you did, but I have never seen people come in with such an air of authority and arrogance before. So, I hope you got your riders on, little boy.
I work trainers, so I mean...
You get back to the office, and they like, the principal's good ways there, and he's like, Memo, what are we gonna do with you?
Leave me alone and just graduate me? That seems to work for half the other kids.
Yeah, but that's not the good way.
But it is the best way.
We've got an individual here from Aegis, and they brought a hero with them named Post Haste.
Mm.
They're in the conference room, and they want to have a word with you.
All right. Should I have a lawyer call? Because I mean, like, my dad is a lawyer. Is this kind of like a situation where he needs to be here too?
They claim that it's not there's no legal action about to happen. So,
all right.
if it gets to that point, please feel free to say, Principal Goodway, I need your assistance, and I'll hear you.
Okay.
He leads you to the conference room, and it's a nice conference table or whatever. And on the other side, there's the two people. One of them is in like Aegis, what's an Aegis uniform, lots of grays and blacks, and then their little shield symbol that has it's got like two red lines behind the name Aegis, but it's basically just the shield with two lines, and then Aegis is written across it.
They have donuts in front of them, which I go across to their side of the table, and they take one and says, oh, thanks.
They don't have donuts. She has a bagel, the agent. Post Haste is next to her. And Post Haste is, you guys would know him as a B-grade hero. He's not some kind of super whatever, he's not a well-known hero. He's done some stuff.
He's a footnote.
Primarily, he works with Aegis, though. And usually works with Aegis with younger heroes when they need to have an interaction.
Uh-huh.
She says, you're Memo Morales, correct?
That's what it says on my license, driving, so.
Do you go by the other name, Deke?
Fifth.
Have a seat. She just gestures to the seat.
And then, in typical delinquent fashion, I put my feet up on the table. Lean back.
We've been watching you a little bit.
Hopefully not in the shower.
No, nothing of that sort. You really might want to take this meeting seriously.
I don't take anything seriously. Sorry, man.
You endangered a human life, and we feel like it's important that we have a way to interact with you on a more frequent basis. So here's what we would like you to do. She brings this box up from like a bag that she has, and she just kind of slides it across the table to you. She goes, in the box, you'll find a gift. Go ahead and open it.
This seems like a trap. Just saying that. I think it. I'm just gonna umble it, but I'm thinking it. I'm saying it out loud. That this is a trap. Alright? There, I open the box.
Inside you see, like, the most expensive Apple-looking watch that you've ever seen.
It's like, oh. Now this is the kind of thing that makes me think it's too good to be true. Just saying.
Well, all we want you to do is wear the watch, use it whenever you want. It works just like any other tablet. The only catch is it allows us to keep tabs on when you use your powers. It will not stop you from using them, but it will make a note of it for us to follow up on. And Post Haste has volunteered to be your liaison with Aegis.
And if I don't want to take it?
We strongly suggest you do. But if you don't, that is an option. We just strongly suggest you do.
Tell you what, I will think about it and get back to you at the end of the week.
Okay, we've got our eye on you.
Hopefully just not in the bathroom, because that would be weird.
She doesn't even crack a smile, like stone-faced all the way. Post Haste, he goes, look, we care about you kids, and we just want to make sure you're on the right track.
You know, Mr. Goodway says like way more inspirational stuff on like 90% of everything that comes out of his mouth, so just saying, might want to raise your game up a little bit on that.
You hear a, thank you, Memo, come down the hall. As she goes, you're dismissed, you can go back to class.
Alright,
take the watch with you, if you don't wear it.
You gotta eat that bagel? I mean, it's kind of sitting there, and you did kind of got me that.
She slides it over to you.
Thank you. Here you are.
You take it with you?
Yeah.
The watch, okay.
In the box, and I put the top back on.
Alright. Did anybody want to see anything before we skip to lunch?
What's Aegis?
So Aegis is capital letters A-E-G-I-S. Aegis is basically the shield.
Oh, okay.
Aegis and the Exemplars work together a lot and very closely. Sort of the same way Avengers and S.H.I.E.L.D. work together. But they are considered separate. They do have a joint task force that you guys, well, that you would know about, that does things that are actually shady, like borderline like assassin type work. And there's a theory around that that's the only reason Payback is still at large is because he's allowed to be at large so that they can use him when they want to for things that most heroes aren't willing to do. Yeah, on your way back to your classroom, you hear Mr. Gill just go, Vika, that's not, and then you hear a very bassy. And when you come into the doorway, you just see, like, her hair's blown back, and she's got, like, the cartoon, like, char all over her, and she's just like, what did I do? The lunchroom, you all have lunch at the same time, which is unusual, but, it works for our purposes. The lunchroom has a giant replica of the Campbell Soup campaign. It's just, like, one entire wall is just this giant replica of it. You're sitting with Bibi, and she's trying to get more information about Russ. Yeah, she's like, who is he? Where did he come from? He dresses so amazing. I've never seen anything like that before.
Probably won't again, Bibi. It's okay. His name is Russ.
Russ.
He's a good guy.
What's his last name?
Russ went Baker.
Ooh, Bibi Baker. I like
No.
that. I like Bibi Baker.
Bibi, no. Bibi, the hell at the house, no.
Oh, is he yours?
No. He's a good guy. I met him a while ago. And just take it easy, because, he's new here.
Does Bibi know that you're a hero?
I think she does. Yeah, I think we decided
She will when
did.
she watches the news.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Everybody will when they
No,
watch
I'm
the
pretty
news.
sure she knows, because I think she knows. I think I put on her somewhere that she
Okay,
knows, and
so-
Dad and Hugo know.
Okay. She's like, I saw what you guys did with that Marionette situation. That had to be scary.
Scary.
I know you've been working with Hawk, right? What's he like? What's Hawk like?
Hawk is an awesome leader, and I don't know a lot about him actually, but
He seems so mysterious.
Bibi, you're killing me.
You're killing me, BB.
One at a time, baby. Come on. So
Marshal, you arrive now, and you see Jasper sitting with BB.
Mm.
What do you do? Do you like bring your own lunch? Do you not eat lunch? Do you go into the line to get it?
Yeah, I just go on the line with it.
Okay. When you're done, do you sit with them, or do you usually kind of sit on your own, or what's?
I'll sit with Deke.
Deke's not there yet.
Oh, he's not there?
No.
Okay.
There's a sea of kids, and you only recognize Jasper. You might know BB too. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I'll go sit with him.
Okay. So you sit down there.
and we don't get a lot of people who sit with us.
No. I'm assuming you guys are at like the corner table where you know
because she's
the outcasts kind of hang out.
She's baby, and I'm not. I'm not necessarily a people person.
All right. So what's Jasper eating?
Salad.
Okay. What's BB eating?
Burger.
I think she put gummy bears on her burger. She totally put gummy bears on her burger.
Or sprinkles.
Yeah. So you see
BB's a lot in a small space.
BB eating a cheeseburger with like a gummy bear like kind of hanging out the back of it.
I strongly consider moving tables.
And Jasper eating her salad. And as you come up, you hear BB talking about Hawk and how cool he seems.
I'm gonna play it up like he's not that great.
I love it. What do you say?
Like, he didn't really even do that much in the last fight. Like, he totally got messed up by that, what's his name, Supernova, or whatever the bad guy's name was.
Oh, Nega-san.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She's like, yeah, Nega-san. You ever see the pictures of the old Nega-san?
No, superheroes aren't really that interesting to me.
Oh, how can they not be? You live in Hero City.
Exactly, they're all over the place.
She like leans over to you and says, I don't know if I like him. But I love that Hawk. And right about that time, Russ, you come into the room. What does Russ like to eat?
Bosco sticks and pizza.
Awesome. Okay. What kind of pizza does Russ get?
He gets Supreme.
Sweet. When you get out of the line, you see the table where they're at, Jasper, BB, and now Marshal. But you also see, like, Shelly is, like, a couple tables over, and she kind of sees you and like, waves. And then BB sees you, and she's, like, waving. Which table do you go to? Or do you go on your
She's got purple hair and big glasses. So.
He said, hey, new kid, come meet the creep.
He said that.
Shout her across the cafeteria at you.
I guess I'll go.
You shout that? Okay.
High school, we don't pull punches.
Awesome. BB, like, turns beet red. And she's just like, oh my god, I can't believe you did that.
You should have been standing by
And of course, I don't know anything about what happened. It's like, hey, what did you do?
I don't know what I did to him.
Well, clearly it was something.
I think you're victim blaming.
Oh.
You go sit with Hawk and them? Okay. Deke, what do you do for lunch? Memo, sorry. What does he do at lunch? Does he eat with everyone? Does he skip? Does he do something?
He'll go to the lunchroom and get his lunch, but then he'll take his actual meal in the auditorium.
Just like the empty auditorium?
Well, sometimes there's a class in there going through, stage rehearsals, but he's comfortable in that kind of situation.
Alright. We'll say that there's like the drama class, but the kids aren't like that into it because they're the later lunch and they're kind of irritated that they're not eating yet. So they're like, you got this low energy thing going on. They're eating. Right.
Nice.
Come on, I came for dinner and a show.
Is there any other school scenes that everyone wants to see before we go to after school stuff?
I don't know, first day with gym class and Mr. Domebro could be interesting.
Is that your last class?
Yeah, last class of the day.
Mr. Domboro, he,
Is that teacher?
yeah,
My arch nemesis.
he loves his whistle. I feel like he blows his whistle before and after every sentence during the things. Your day is supposed to be volleyball. So what? I'm gonna say you're in this class too.
All right.
I think Russ is in the class and Jim with Memo for this last class. Yeah, he starts with you guys. He said the volleyball nets are already set up because there's already been classes throughout the day, and he's basically just like make teams, form up, and start playing. And that's pretty much it. He blows his whistle. So, what do you guys do? You guys...
Well, Memo is kind of in the whole Spirit of Daria thing, putting in the least amount of effort on it to the left. Not moving for that, sorry. It's got to come right here for me to really want to play.
I'll play with Memo. And are you on those missed shots? I just go and hit him.
It's like, no, too far. No, he's got it. Too far. No, he's got it. I'm just basically, most of the time I'm just watching him play the entire team.
Are you obviously doing super speed stuff, or are you just kind of
covertly do it, make it look like he's the one hitting the ball? So
he's
setting and
I love it. That's awesome. The team you're playing is this is a kid named Bill, who's like, how old are you guys?
Well, let's see, 17, 15, 16, 17.
16. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna say he's like, we'll say he's your age. He's like 16, but he looks like he's going on 38. He's got that like grizzled kind of beard kind of thing starting. He's kind of big, but not fat, just like those people that are just naturally big. He's back there, and he actually comes up for a wicked spike. It spikes it really hard, straight at Memo. What do you do? What do you do?
Just go ahead and let it hit me. I'll headbutt it.
You headbutt it?
Yeah.
Okay. You headbutt it, and it goes shooting up to the ceiling and hits one of the lights, and the light shatters. And Mr. Dumboro's like, Memo! Blows his whistle again.
What?
You're fixing that!
I'm sure if you check the school's legal charter, I cannot be held accountable for any damages caused on the property. There's a reason why Mr. Domebro doesn't like me, because I'm a smartass.
He's like, I want you to do 10 laps.
Okay, and I just run around in a little circle 10 times. You failed to mention, how far the lap was going to be, so I just took the liberty.
At the track, you little shit!
Alright, see ya.
Obviously, he doesn't go out with you.
Yeah.
You're done for the day. You can do whatever you want. And now it's just you. You playing volleyball. There's, some shattered light bulb on the ground in the middle of the court. But, so, Bill is like, did you change for gym class? This isn't Bill. This is me asking.
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're wearing the 1970s high shorts kind of thing, because you never really got past that.
No, what, did you even have gym clothing with you? I
Whatever
don't think so.
School supplied gym clothing.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you want? Too tight or too loose? Are you constantly pulling them up, or are they showing more than you would want anybody on the planet to see?
It's from the 40s, so
His modesty.
They're too tight.
Too tight.
He's constantly.
He tried on the other one, and he was like, this is too baggy.
I'm not comfortable with this bagginess. Okay, so he, that Bill guy, he's just standing at the net after his spike incident, and he just goes, "Why are you so weird?" Looking at you, you're such a freak.
What the hell are you saying, Bill?
Don't sugarcoat it.
No, it's what the heck are you saying?
What the heck are you saying, Bill?
You don't look like you belong here. Where are you from? Are you from like Uganda or something? Not even knowing that Uganda's in Africa, not Europe.
I mean, like, is it because I look Asian?
Maybe. I don't know. That doesn't help.
Wow.
Well, man, I don't know what to tell you.
Man, you gonna do anything in response or?
You could super speed his pants down on the next, when you lit him up with a nice setup, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do something with it. And then you just super speed it, boom, pants are down, and everyone's looking.
I like that idea.
Alright, so you go back to playing.
Yeah.
You get the perfect opportunity. I'm gonna have you use Unleash Your Powers, though.
Okay. Give dice.
Too, if you need to borrow real quick.
Haven't even had the roll yet.
Storytelling.
With a freak?
Yep. Roll plus freak.
6, 5.
Wow. 5?
Mm-hmm.
So, you're running, and you've never felt what happens before. It's almost like lightning from your feet charges up through your body. Mm-hmm. And when you go to grab his pants, you actually shock the shit out of him. And he's in like midair, getting ready to, spike, do a power spike. And you grab his pants, and he gets shocked and goes flying into the net, and then bounces off the net and backwards, and it hits the floor, and his hair's like... Yeah, completely.
What happened, Bill?
It's a little weird down there.
You okay, man?
You're looking strange, bro.
Mr. Dumborough blows his whistle, and he's like, Bill, go shower off. I think we'll leave that scene there.
Now remember, since you failed, you get
marked it.
I
marked it.
All right. So, let's go to after school here. Eagle meets you. Actually, look, he's Adrian. He's out of costume. He's just in the penthouse. So when you get in there, you come in, and he's like making coffee. And it looks like he hasn't slept in probably since the last time you saw him when he was at the Exemplar place. And he's just like, hey, Marshal, how was the day?
Good.
You want some coffee?
No.
So he pours himself black, hot, strong, the way he likes it. He's just like, anything new going on? He's like, I saw what you did with Negasun. It was good, but it was a little reckless.
Yeah, I wasn't really focused.
I could see that. That exempt car, it's going to be a lot of money.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to keep that too.
He chuckles a little bit, and then he's like, they wouldn't have let you keep it anyway. He's like, but if you ever make the team, or even the young exemplars, they'll let you use their resources as much as you want. He says, so there's another thing that happened that I wanted to talk to you about.
Oh yeah?
So I've shielded you from suspicion with this, mostly because not many people know that you are Hawk. But the situation with that Deke at the pool hall.
Oh yeah.
That got a little out of hand, and he's a little reckless. And I think he might have made you a little reckless. He's trying to shift your danger up and your superior down.
Okay.
Do you accept it?
He's got influence over me, so yeah.
You don't have to accept it.
You can always challenge someone's influence.
But that's up to you. If you want to accept it, go for it.
You know what? I am going to reject.
You're going to reject it? Okay. What do you say in response to that?
We were just going off steam. It's not like we were out there to cause any trouble, and this guy was giving us shit. So.
Technically, he started it.
Yeah. 6, and what am I rolling with?
I think it's a flat roll. Go ahead and read the move out loud.
Okay. When you reject someone's influence, roll. On a hit, you successfully hold to yourself and tune them out. On a 10+, choose 2. On a 7 to 9, choose 1. On a miss, their words hit you hard. Mark a condition, and the GM will adjust your labels.
So mark a condition first. What would his words make you feel? Basically, he's calling you reckless, dangerous, saying that Deke has more influence over you than you should. And
I'll go back to wait. Yeah, I've already gotten guilty. Maybe hopeless.
Hopeless?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see your labels.
So I let my mentor down.
Let's see. So you responded to him. Would he still want to be adjusting those things? Would he respond differently? He was shifting your danger initially, right? I think in response to what you said, he's like, you should be, he like calmly replies, because I mean, you kind of like, shoot back. We were just trying to blow off some steam. He's like, well, maybe next time you should try blowing off steam with one of the more normal members of your team, like Jasper.
Okay.
So he's going to shift your mundane up and your superior down. Everything cool?
Yeah.
When it's the highlighted one or the white one, do you not worry about certain things? Okay. And then the final word that he has before he tells you he wants to get back to, well, he basically is like, I want to get like at least 30 minutes of sleep before I work more on the HK situation. He says, your friends, your teammates, they may want to reconsider putting on costumes. Just because they can hide themselves from direct observation doesn't mean their identities are truly secret. Cameras aren't fooled by mind tricks. And even stealthy people have to come out of the shadows every once in a while when they need someone to see them.
Okay.
So just mention to them that even a costume like Wheels is better than nothing.
Yeah.
His at least covers everything but his eyes.
I'm going to thank him for that. And then I want to see if there's anything I can help him out with on the H case.
Okay.
Whether it's just research or anything he needs put together.
He mentions that what HK is trying to do is hack into the exemplar files, which I think I mentioned last time.
Mm-hmm.
And they've gotten to the point where they're holding off the virus, but they're trying to track down where he's at now. And if you wanted to, you could look into all of the previous headquarters that he's had through all of his different incarnations.
Okay.
Do you have a move for using facilities at all? Or is it just files? Okay. Yeah. You can go ahead and do that.
Okay. I roll plus superior.
The thing he just lowered. I'd be able to help you out better if you weren't just being an ass to me.
7, 8, 9.
Alright, so 9, what does it say?
It comes up with a list of his former addresses. Compile it all. And I'll let him know that I'm going to take the team to start checking them out one by one.
Okay. It says, the move says something about I will tell you what doesn't appear.
The GM will tell you what, if anything, seems different from what you remember. Tell the team, on a hit, tell the team one important detail you've learned from your studies. The GM will tell you what, if anything, seems different from what you remember. So I remember him having, he's like a tech baddie, right?
He's a robot.
Okay.
Basically, a sentient robot.
So one of his early hideouts was actually a car factory. It was where he just got a bunch of spare parts to put his body together and things like that. That was the first one I wanted to hit.
Okay. What's different? Well, I'll tell you that when you get there, actually. We're going to jump around a little bit before what you want to do comes up to the rest of the team. Jasper, you get home, and when you walk in the trailer, is it a relatively big trailer? Like, do you each have your own room?
Yeah.
Kind of thing? Okay. So it's more like, kind of like...
Double.
Yeah, okay. So you walk in, you see your dad actually sitting at the breakfast table that you guys sit at, and he's talking with Travis's father. When you come in, Travis's dad just glares at you for a second, but doesn't really say anything to you. And you just hear their conversation end with your father, Mike. With Mike saying, well, I'm sorry this whole situation happened and that it ended the way it did, but I guess we'll be seeing you in court. And Travis's dad leaves. And when he walks by you, he just glares at you again and leaves. Lets the outside door slam in that way that you're not supposed to. And Mike turns to you and he just says, apparently you did something to Travis the other day. He had done something to Hugh.
Yeah.
That's what your younger brother's name is.
Yeah, Hugo.
Hugo. Yeah, that's right. Hugo.
Yeah, he asked them Hugo, and I took care of it. He deserved it.
I don't doubt that, but now they're talking about legal action. They're claiming that he has whiplash. I think he's faking it. I think this is just a ploy to try to get money. Basically already told him you can't get blood from a turnip, but they're gonna come after us for whatever we can get, whatever they can get from us, unless we can find a way to prove that he's faking it.
Well, I can find a way to prove he's faking it.
And maybe next time,
Yeah.
you could pick a pocket just as easily as you could kick someone's ass. We both know that.
Right.
Next time,
Maybe. Okay. I got you. I agree. I'm sorry, but
he's trying to up your danger,
yeah.
and I think lower your savior.
Yeah.
Are you accepting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
I'll accept that. Great. So now I have to find out the little creep is faking it. But I can do that. I just have to follow him around. Letting him know. You only want to follow him around the rest of the evening. Get some footage of him being totally not whiplash.
At the moment that you have that thought, Hawk's telepathic thing comes through. What's your message to them to get them to help with?
Got a mission. And I've got something for each of you as well.
Okay.
What are your drives there, Mark? I haven't been paying attention to them, really. I want to see what...
I got unrespected a hero you admire. Stop a fight with calm words. Help a teammate when they most need you, and take down a threat all on your own.
Okay.
So, guess I'll have to answer that call. Travis on the back burner.
Who's a hero that you really respect?
Hawk. You know, of the existing, of the
I would,
older ones.
well, I would think the
bigger tier.
adult hero is probably more...
Serpentina.
Because
Real name is actually Tina.
we have Eagle, we have Roarshade, who you haven't met yet, but hopefully if things go the way that I'm wanting them to, we will meet him tonight.
Adonis.
There's Adonis, we've seen Cosmic Synapse, the whole Fantastic Five, Post Haste.
Well, post taste, I kind of,
That's more
heard about
baby's
him.
territory, I would think.
Well, I've heard about him, I mean,
You may not respect him as much as...
maybe not. Eagle.
Okay.
I mean, he seems, hardworking and mysterious, and he's pretty self-sacrificing.
Okay. When you were digging through the files and finding the different headquarters, you found out that he has 14. He's had 14 iterations of himself. HKs 1 through 9, HK Alpha, HK Beta, HK Delta, HK Gamma, HK Prime, HK Supreme, and finally he's HK Ultra. He hasn't actually changed his current form in years. This has been, and that's the longest anybody's ever seen him in any one form. So there's something going on with this particular form that he likes enough to keep it. Either he thinks he's reached the pinnacle of what he can do, or he's
Ran
just
out of
something.
good ideas.
There's just something he's
Some limitation. That
he's afraid to lose or something with this particular construct. Nobody really knows too much about his history, though, beyond he showed up in this car factory.
Okay.
What are you two doing when you guys get the mental telepathic communication?
Back at the bakery.
Actually, I know what you're doing. I'll actually be with you in a second, okay? But what's Russ doing? You get back to the bakery, and are you like helping out with the evening? Okay.
No, prepping dough.
When you get home, it's your mother that pushed you hardcore into becoming a hero, right?
She's the one that said, I need to do something constructive with my life. Yeah.
Okay. So when you get home, and you come in, you smell empanadas. Empanadas.
That's never a good sign.
And, she's like, these just came out. Have a seat. Enjoy yourself an empanada.
Definitely not a good sign. She never bakes these when she's happy.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'll just take one and hopefully prepare for the tongue lashing.
So she lays into you a little bit about, she got contacted by Aegis. They told her about the incident at the pool hall. She's like, how could you be so reckless? How could you lose control of your powers like that? All these different things. And you're thinking back to the situation, and you don't know that you even caused it.
Yeah.
Because when you're thinking about what happened, you're not the one that has telekinetic powers.
Yeah.
You're not the one that you can't even affect people physically. At least not in that way.
Yeah.
So the idea that this stroke was somehow caused by you just seems off now that you think about it. Significantly off.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the conversation, though, she's just like, you don't want to be like your uncle.
I'm going to be better than him, obviously.
Don't end up in the brick. I don't want to be visiting you in the brick. The brick is the name of the building. Is the prison.
Yeah.
It does look like a brick. It's like rectangular.
Well, really what I don't want to happen is that I don't want to end up like him being drugged every day so that we can't use his power. That's how they kind of keep him contained.
I don't want that for you either. Mm-hmm. Be more careful.
Alright, so don't get caught. Got it, Mom.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying be more careful. And try to avoid using your powers on civilians. That's a touchy area anyway. Obviously, if they have guns or knives or they're going crazy, that's different. But just a bar fight, just don't use your powers. Why are you in a bar fight anyway?
You're 17. Why are you in a bar?
I wasn't in a bar. I was in a pool hall fight. There's a difference.
All of them are skeezy places.
And I didn't start it. They did.
Eat an empanada.
Alright, I'm gonna have another one and good of a room. I know what you're gonna say next. I'm just gonna go to the room. I'm gonna stay there for the rest of the night. Don't worry.
As soon as you get into your room, in mid-bite of empanada, you get the telepathic communication.
Oh, god damn it.
Russ, you're getting ready to put a bunch of bread in the oven, and that's when you get the communication. You know, you're like getting ready to shove the bread in. He actually had it was a really good evening in the bakery. There was a lot of people there.
All right.
And not just the neighborhood people, like
The uptown people.
Yeah, he had some Adonis lovers there too.
Really?
Well, they don't know that you're wheels.
Okay, good.
Well, does everybody agree to come help me out?
Yeah,
Dude, if I get in trouble with my mom, like, you're gonna have to smooth things over.
That's fine.
Dude, I don't think you realize what you're saying when you
Can't be
say
out
that
late.
I'll smooth things over.
It's up quick.
Hey.
School.
Yeah, I can come help for a bit.
Okay.
Your little brother, does he know your Deke?
No, he knows that I have abilities, and like I said, I make little illusions that we get to play in, but he never really got the whole...
Okay, so he doesn't
Super
know
good,
either. Okay. As you're leaving, he's playing with his hawk action figure that he made. He's like, look what I did. Look what I made. You know, so proud of it. Okay, where do you guys meet? At the car factory? The rundown car factory. Car factory is...
I ride my bike there.
in a...
We can teleport now.
When do we teleport?
I got new stuff.
He's got a... Yeah. What all do you have? List
I have
everything that you have.
A hidden base, a vehicle, a supercomputer, a chem lab, a med lab, a teleportal, security systems.
With a limited ammo supply.
Yeah, right, for uses.
And I have a watch.
I'm kind of rethinking the vehicle because it's a little bit redundant with the teleport.
Do you bring that with you?
I'm not wearing it, but yeah, I've got it, kind of stuffed in my superhero fanny pack.
Okay. In the case still, or you?
I took it out, but I just have it kind of like rubber banded.
Okay.
I'm going to pull out masks. You already have a mask that you wear?
Mm-hmm. I have
What
costume.
do the masks look like?
They're just like bandanas,
Like straight up, just okay.
So we look like the Hamburglar. Realistically, that is the best you could do on short notice.
Yeah.
It's even purple.
You work with a man who has seemingly infinite amount of money, and you get a piece of cloth.
You've had plenty of time to come up with your own costumes.
I don't wear a costume.
This is
It's hazardous, and you just get caught in things. You have to carry it around with everything.
Okay.
It's just some advice that the Hawk gave me I should pass along to you guys.
The eagle, right?
Yeah. Eagle.
Yeah, I'd rather just, get some of Jax's, camo makeup and then make myself look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator.
Okay.
Think that would work out better.
But it needs to happen.
Yeah. I'll wear the mask.
I was gonna say, how does Jax respond?
I'll wear the mask. I think I've caused enough trouble for one day. I'll tell you guys about it later.
Trouble.
Probably shouldn't have stayed around for the news conference. But let's do this. What do you need help with?
Well, the Eagle is still working on HK with the exemplars. And so he wanted me to come up with a list of all the HK's old bases, and I thought we could look into seeing which ones might still be active or not. And this is the first one on the list.
Question. killer robot, teenagers. Don't think any of us are really equipped for this. Did you have a better plan?
Do you really think this guy's going to be stupid enough to go to his old bases? It's just busy work to check off on their list.
And the eventuality that someone somewhere will meet the robot and get killed by it is kind of, on the high end at some point.
Yeah. But he's probably not going to be in his original base. I mean, this guy is a supervillain after all. Like,
Incredibly well known.
I'm just saying, it's going to come down to him time, and that's going to come back on.
they'll probably find him way before we do.
Alright. Wear the stupid mask. Go into the stupid killer robot lair.
I want to assess the situation, see if the factory still looks active in any way, whether that's dangerous or not.
How are you going about that?
I guess since we're outside.
Oh, I should probably do team, by the way. You had a move. What did your move add? Your team move?
That added, add team to the pool because I told somebody they were awesome, and then if they tell you how awesome you are, you add another team. 2 adds.
So that's 3 that we're starting with. There's not going to be battle right away. Maybe not at all. So yeah, you'll have 3. Okay. How are you going about assessing?
I'm gonna look outside the building to see any obvious lights and then I'll probably do like a quick psychic pulse to see if there's any intelligent, like human level intelligence.
Okay.
Inside.
When you, go ahead and roll the assess.
Oh.
What does it say on the miss? Or does it not say? Actually, just read the whole move.
When you assess the situation, roll plus superior on a 10 plus S2, on a 7 to 9 S1. Take +1 while acting on the answers. I have be mindful of your surroundings when you assess the situation before entering into a fight. You may ask one additional question you don't miss.
So you get to ask the one additional.
Ask your additional question.
What here is the greatest danger?
The building is really old, and there's a significant danger of it being weak structurally.
Okay.
You know from your research that this was the first place where Cosmic Synapse and HK had their fight, their very first fight. Cosmic Synapse was still struggling with controlling his power, and HK was pretty primitive and destructive. Like, he was mostly just a big machine that liked to punch things at the time. Now he has like energy blasts and drones and all kinds of crap that he does. But so basically, like, there's pillars and stuff that used to hold the building up that are just completely gone. Okay. The roof looks like it's sagging in places. Stuff on the inside, there's like whole walls that look like they're on the verge of, like, if you just went up to it and gave it a shove, it would just fall over. There's a few half-assembled cars still around, and there's bent metal and all kinds of twisted stuff everywhere, all over this place. So those are the most dangerous things. Just that. The thing that looks different than your files is that as you walk into like the main lobby to just kind of like scan, you notice that there's a lot of emblems that seem really familiar. Like they're a corporation. Nobody has ever really seemed to write down what the corporation that owned the car factory was. Gotcha. And you know the name of it is Ultrust. ULTRUST.
Probably some Bulgarian off-brand.
Ultrust Corporation. And when you do your telepathic sweep, other than rats and other animals with small incomplete thoughts, you don't really pick up anything, and it's pretty much empty.
I'm gonna say Deke. I told you it would be empty.
Okay, you got one. You want to keep on pushing your luck every time? It's just gonna keep on getting slimmer and slimmer odds.
Alright. I still don't think you'd be stupid enough to be at any of them, but come on, let's go inside and just take a quick look around.
Alright,
you guys, are you just them two, or Russ and Jasper? You guys and Jax? You guys going into?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you are touring the facility, so to speak, the only thing you notice is there's a couple cameras that look undamaged, and maybe even added later, that are positioned so that they can kind of keep an eye on things. But you can't tell whose they are. They're not really marked. I mean, you guys have the thought that it could be the exemplars, just kind of keeping an eye out, and it could also be all trust. It could be, But other than that, the place is pretty much bare.
Okay. I'll take a note of the cameras to give to Eagle later.
Okay.
And he'll probably know if they're ours or somebody else's.
And this is one of the weird things, is there's not even a secret. There's no secret, doors or anything that you find. It's not like he had a hidden lair when he was using this place, which is kind of weird, but...
Alright, cool. On down.
As you guys leave, each of you kind of you're looking in a different place, and you each get one of these. It just appears where you're looking. So you're leaving through the door, and you happen to glance over at this little, it used to be a plant, was on it, one of the corporate kind of
Right.
end table things, and you just see this, and it looks brand new, like it was just placed there. When you get out the door, there's a little ledge just outside the door that used to probably be where people hang out and smoke, because there's an old ashtray there. And right next to it, you see one of those. As you're passing, you see him pick up his, and you happen to glance over, and there's the one sitting right next to for you. And then you take a whiz off somewhere random, and when you turn around, there's a little ledge. And this is sitting right on the ledge.
What do I know about Russ?
As much as anybody. He's, in non-game meta terms, he's a mix of Rorschach and Doctor Strange. So he's basically a vigilante, but he started out almost like a Jasper type person, where he didn't have any powers. He was kind of flying by the seat of his pants kind of thing. And then something happened, and he started being able to use mystic stuff, using spells and sorcery and that kind of thing. And nobody really knows what happened that made him do that, but he's pretty much been one of the more sought after individuals when supernatural, mystical kind of crap is happening. When there's an artifact of unknown origin or anything like that, he's one of the guys that the exemplars will call in. Never actually been an exemplar himself, never been a part of any team. He's always been a loner.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
Does the Eagle like to work with him?
I don't know if "like to" would be the right phrase, but he respects his knowledge base. So it's outside of the Eagle's typical knowledge base.
Right.
So you're the first one that handed it to me. You guys are standing there and you're all looking at this, the hell? And he whether you mark it for real or you just mark it in your head, as soon as that happens, you're gone. You guys see that he's there, gone. Same thing. There, poof, gone.
I'm guessing that's what's happening.
Poof, gone. And poof, gone. Okay. You all appear in a dimly lit room. It has incense. You smell strong, heady scent of incense. The room is dimly lit by candles spread throughout. Yeah, that's cool. You see Rorschach standing there. He's wearing a black mask that covers his upper face, and it's under a black hood. And the hood is lined with bluish purple runes around the trim that kind of glow. He also has a cape, his cloak, and that flows from the hood, has similar runes on it. He has what looks like skin-tight body armor kind of thing, similar to what you would think Batman would wear. And there's shades of black and midnight blue throughout that. And it has the same glowing purple color running throughout as highlights. Not runes, though, just along the seams. He's waiting for you he's holding a bow staff in his right hand, and it's kind of standing it on the ground. And the bow staff thing is something he's had throughout ever since the beginning. That was his main weapon. And it's not changed very much. The only thing that's happened is he's added things to it. Now, currently, it has runes on either end that kind of spiral up it. And they glow purple, too, in the room. He says, "Thank you for accepting my invitation, and I apologize for the theatrics in getting you here. I thought it prudent to speed up the travel process. Have any of you noticed a presence in the villains you've stopped lately?"
Ooh, I have.
Do you have any idea who it might be?
Somebody who obviously wanted us to find them, but doesn't want us to actually find them.
What makes you say that he wants you to find him?
Because the last one that I kind of got into their head with, I saw a dude. And he was like, I was wondering how long it would take you to find me, and blah, 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 evil villain stuff, yada, yada, yada. And then kind of got creeped out and left the brain. So.
Was there anything else about the mind that you were in that seemed weird?
I mean, they were kind of unconscious at the time, so I can't really, say for sure. But there was, a bald dude. Yeah.
So he was bald.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who it is either. But I've noticed in the last 2 criminals that I've taken down, they were both being written as well.
Mm.
So I don't know who the mind writer is, but I think we as a group may be able to figure this out together. I've learned, however, the target that he does intend to hit based on the last criminal I spoke to. Have any of you heard of the magic research group Merit?
Absolutely not.
It's like, I'm not surprised if you don't run in the same circles as I do. It's unlikely that you would hear of them and their work. It's capital M, lowercase e, capital R, capital I, capital T. If you guys are interested in writing it down. What they do, they research paranormal things that occur. They've occasionally worked with me. I find them a little bit too uppity for my taste, though. They tend to like to, they catalog too much. They record too much, they write too much down, they put too much in databases, and none of that is safe. He's like, that's why I have this area. That's why I have my library. He points out. The room you're in is circular. And out one door, there's just this, shelves of books. They're just piled. They're piled on the floor. They're just all over the place.
I go to pick one up.
Okay, I'll tell you what happens in just a moment. In the other room, there's sort of an artifact storage. It has there's some weird crap, and there's a horn, a brass horn, just sitting on top of a shelf. There's a glass dome that's kind of glowy with a gnarled hand in it. It's just looks like it's reaching up out of the pedestal it's on. But he, what do you do when you pick up the book?
I flip it open casually and just kind of start scrolling through pages to see if anything catches my eye. As far as I can tell, it's written in something that I can't understand.
Roll plus freak.
Alright. That is a 7 plus 2, 9.
Okay. What are you thinking about as you're flipping through it?
Just wondering if there's anything cool or useful that I might be able to, kind of translate into regular person usage.
Write down Eldritch Power, and it has influence over you.
I also wanted to see if Lord Shade could help me with my telepathy. Seems like I've been messing it up every time I try and use it.
You can expect it to ask you for something at some point.
Alright.
In the meantime, you could take +1 forward on any action that you desire.
Oh, cool.
And for the rest of the session. As soon as that happens, the book closes itself and goes back onto the shelf.
Oh. That's a handy licensing tool, I'd say. Someone should get that working with regular people, because books that put themselves back make you lots of money.
Do you ask him about telepathy?
Yeah.
He says, I can help you with that. We can train. I'm perfectly fine with training you. You'll probably want to ask Eagle for permission. I don't want to step on any toes.
I'm sure he'd be fine with it. It's not something he has experience with that he can teach me, really.
I've noticed that as well. Does anybody else have any questions for him?
What does he know about the bald guy?
All he knows is this. He didn't even know he was bald until Deke mentioned it. That does seem to have his wheels spinning about more possibilities. Mm-hmm. He thought it was a non-human presence, is what he was thinking. So he tells you guys that there's hundreds, millions of dimensions other than this one.
I can buy it.
Some of them have beings in them that like to try to worm their way into this dimension. That's what exorcism usually is just getting rid of something from another dimension. And I've had to deal with that several times. And that's what I initially thought it was. But if he saw a human form, most of those beings are not able to take on human forms when they are directly interacting with other minds. They're typically either amorphous blobs or they actually show their true appearance when they're in minds. They don't have the capacity, the emotional capacity to be able to replicate human figures completely. Especially to somebody who's as adept at making his own illusions. He would have been able to know that it was an illusion immediately. But back to the task at hand. I think the next target is a merit facility. They're in possession of something called the Tempest Auspex. It's an artifact of significant power from the Silver Age hero Foresight. I believe the mysterious Shadow Man intends to have it stolen tonight, based on the info I gathered. Will you guys help me stop this? I'm unsure I don't know what power he's going to have behind him with this, and I don't know where the exemplars are with all this.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Can we get paid?
I can train you. It's the only thing I can offer.
Can you sweeten it up a little bit?
No.
Training in the cigars. Meeting this guy has already benefited you.
How about this? You give me a few of the books, I'll take them back home, kind of read through them, and then we can talk about the training thing.
No.
You drive a hard bargain, sir. I guess we'll go.
Okay. I'm going to take
But I want a cooler mask. This mask sucks. You gotta have something back here.
he actually is willing to give you one of his old masks. It's...
Does it make me look like Antonio Banderas and Zorro?
No. That isn't exactly the mask I gave you. No, I'm going to say it's like a full head balaclava thing, but it doesn't actually have eye holes or a mouth hole. But when you put it on, you can
just
you can see through it perfectly.
That sounds better. You see, you just got to drive a harder bargain on.
Okay.
No, I'm good. After you put on his, did you guys hear what his mask was?
What a Rochet's old mask.
Yeah, it's like a balaclava thing, but without the eye holes or the mouth hole, and you can still see through it perfectly.
Way better than your piece of shit.
He points at the door and he says, he says, "You can go through that door if you want to get there quickly." And he points at you.
Well, are you guys waiting for an invitation? We should probably go to the door. I assume that he's not going to throw us into the middle of a shark tank, because that would just be dickish.
Pretty mean.
So, Alonzi,
Who opens the door?
I do.
When you open the door, it's a yawning chasm of nothing, and it's howling. And he goes, "Just messing with you." And then the door disappears. He spins his staff faster and faster, and the ends glow, and it slowly starts to make like a purple-violet circle that glows, and then the center fills in, and it's a portal. And he's on the other side of it. You can actually see this containment facility. It's sort of reminiscent of the end of Indiana Jones, where there's the giant facility with all the different boxes. It's sort of like that. Not quite that huge, but it's
maybe Warehouse
similar.
13.
Yeah, it's it's a smaller facility than that, but the same idea. Just boxes that just have markings on them and crates and stuff. He goes ahead and he leads the way through. And when he goes through, you can see him on the other side through the portal. I'm assuming you guys follow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When you get into the other room, it closes behind you with a small popping sound. It's just but you see another sorcerer type hero character named. You guys know his name is Magus Justinian. He's actually standing there. There's a woman named Rebecca Corgan that you guys, I guess you guys wouldn't know that because you didn't know what merit was, but we'll just say she has a name tag that says Rebecca. She's standing there. She's got a white lab coat on. She looks like a researcher. And they're having this in the middle of this really heated argument. And he's just I need it or it's going to be the end of the universe. Talking about the Tempest Auspex. And you guys can see it. It's actually on this little table, between them. One of them had been doing something with it when the other one came in, and they just started having this argument. It's in one of those old, it looks like an old clock case, like the old golden clocks used to be in the middle of the glass enclosure. And it's floating on its own in the middle. It's sort of eye-shaped. It's got the oval that comes to the points on either end. But it's silver. She's responding with, "You can't have it because I need it." And just back and forth. What do you guys do?
Well, the simplest thing to do would be to rush and take a portal out or run out really, really quick and hope they don't notice us.
I'd like to assess the situation.
Also a good call.
Roll.
So, 10 plus 8, 12.
Nice. What do you get?
2 questions. 1.
Yeah, plus 1 for your ability, right?
Alright. So 2 questions. What here can I use to solve their argument?
Well, the easiest way would be have them both take it. It's an artifact. They should both be able to use it at the same time if they really want to use it.
Okay.
I mean, if you're looking at like the most practical, how can I get them to shut up?
Yeah.
Why don't you both use it?
Then how can we protect the artifact best?
If you guys split your own team into 2 groups of 2 and keep them busy so that Rorschach can actually get it to his sector, that would probably be the best way to protect it.
Do we trust Merit? They good force in our universe, or
You guys didn't even know what it was. And that's not on the list, so don't count it as a question. That's just me responding to the question that you asked. It's not on the list. You guys didn't even know that Merit existed, so you trust him as much as you would trust All Trust Corporation that you just found out about.
what here is the biggest threat?
The biggest threat is probably Magus Justinian. He has at least as much sorcery power as Rorschach, maybe even more so. He's always been kind of a gray hat anyway, kind of doing his own thing. He works with Merit even more than Rorschach does, but how much do you trust Merit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he could potentially be the most difficult to deal with if it actually came to the point where there was danger here.
I'm gonna ask Rorschach if he senses the bald guy in Magus, or if he has any way to tell if he's the tool.
He says it'd be quicker for you guys to tap
Alright.
because he would have to cast a spell to do it.
I will unleash my powers. See if I sense it.
Okay.
Sure you don't want to try doing the whole Wonder Twin powers activate. Then we both try to use our brains against his.
We could. I've just been having a terrible track record. Do you want to help me?
Oh yeah. I mean, 2 heads are better than 1.
Take a +1 to it.
11. So plus
Freak's not like a -2, right?
plus 3 plus 1. So
Okay,
well,
yeah, you're 10 plus, you're good. Okay, you, I assume you were targeting Magus, Justinian? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You get into Magus's head, both of you. And yeah, you instantly, he's there. He actually, Magus Justinian's head it's like an MC Escher painting. It's just like angles that meet other angles that then curve back around on themselves, and it doesn't actually make any logical sense. But in the center of it all, seemingly floating in like an egg, like a half egg, is the bald guy.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a shadow still. And he's got all these symbols and stuff around him that he's just like touching the symbols, and they start to glow, and then you hear Magus saying things that sound like this guy's controlling them. Okay. And yeah, he's fully in control of Magus Justinian.
Well, the way that I always envision using my powers, like getting into someone's head, is a lot like Ant-Man in Tony Stark's suit, where he just starts pulling little things. So maybe if we want to just like shut the whole system down, we can find one of those and just be like, okay, symbols don't match up with what you're trying to say anymore. Then he starts making no sense and sets off an alarm.
It sounds like directly engage a threat.
That does indeed. Except that I'm like the worst person to probably do the whole danger bit, but let's do it. 7, which is a success. Create opportunity, impress, surprise, or frighten. I think that me pulling these brain wires would probably surprise the shadow egg guy the most.
Okay, so how are you approaching the actual, describe how you're approaching the floating,
well,
and you're in a mental space, so
yeah,
you can do whatever the heck you want, but I want to see it so I know how to respond to it.
The way I see it is like I come into a wall and I just like make a hole in the wall, come out somewhere else until I finally get to someplace that looks like it's important, and I start, kind of like making my own kind of like gestures and touching things that...
Okay. As you're doing that, you two, Jax and Wheels, you see Magus Justinian just like stops mid-sentence, and he's just like kind of like twitching and looking around a little bit, and that is when Rebecca grabs the Tempest Auspex, puts it under her arm like a football, and starts making a beeline to go out. Let me draw this room real quick. And this actually goes out further than that, but it's just like rows and rows of... So this is like the warehouse interior. You guys kind of appeared out here, just outside this double door entrance. This is not the scale at all, but you guys appeared here. They were fighting here. They're through the doors. This is Magus. MJ does not mean Michael Jackson. Mm. So she just grabs it off the table and starts booking it this way. What do you guys do?
You're faster than I am, so you can probably...
Actually, before I do that, I should probably resolve. You, as you're starting to pull stuff, he, I guess you would see what he does more effectively. So you see him go through a wall, go through another wall, and like he's like bouncing around, it looks like. You see he stops for a second, he starts to just pull stuff and start moving things. You see the man sitting in the control console. He just like opens a little thing up, does this in the air, and an oval of space opens, and he reaches through and grabs the back of his head and shoves it forward so that his head hits the wall where he's at. Take a condition.
Alright.
I will let you decide which one it is.
I'm gonna be angry about that.
Okay. So I'll give you a chance to do what you want to do, but I'm gonna come with them then. Okay, so what do you guys do? Rebecca takes off, she's rounding the table. To you, it's kind of slow motion. She's like, running with this thing under her arm, just because you kind of see things as a little bit slower than they really are, generally. So what do you guys do?
Well, I think we should go after her, but Wheels is going to get to her a lot faster than I am, but if I would more like, if the table, is she rounding the table? Mm-hmm. So I go over the table, try to cut her off that way. Okay, so we don't want her to get back in the stacks.
Okay, so you're running just kind of straight in and over the table. Yeah. What are you doing?
I'll follow her, like the path I saw her go.
I mean, you're fast enough, you can actually just cut her off anywhere you want. So you're just going to cut her off? How are you approaching that? Are you stopping in front of her to get her to stop running? Are you actually grabbing her, or just trying to grab the Tempest Auspex?
I think I'll just try and grab the Auspex.
Okay.
We don't want it to break. I mean, we don't know if it's breakable even, but...
Go ahead and do an Unleash Your Powers.
That's a 5. Yeah.
Okay, so you get up behind her, and you're getting ready to grab it, because you think coming from the back would be better. Mm-hmm. You actually push it, and it goes popping out of her arm, and goes flying down this way. Hits the ground, you hear a shatter. And in the back of the hall, you see a streak of lightning coming, and then it reaches down and grabs the Tempest Auspex. You're the only one that can see what the hell's going on. It's greaseball lightning. He's running, and you can see he's actually at the speed where there's just electricity all over his body, which is where he got his name, Lightning. Yes, and he grabs it off the ground, and he just keeps going, and he starts to run this way. I'm going to cut back to you. What do you do in response to Hawk, in response to Deke getting slammed, and the person in the control?
I think I'm going to exit his mind, because I want to clear up raid, so I have to run for something difficult.
Okay, so you just cut out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm out of my depth with this guy, since he can pretty much do whatever he wants here, and I'm bad at my telepathy anyways. So I'm going to run away.
Okay. Go ahead and clear your condition. Okay. You come to, out here, you see Rorschach is actually currently like restraining. He's like casting a restraint spell around Magus Justinian while he's distracted from what Pete did. So he seems to have that part under control. But you see, to you two, to Jax and Hawk, lightning looks like lightning. Like there is just lightning like streaking around the room. And it's like coming off, it's like arcing everywhere. There's like artifacts on these things that are, some of the few artifacts that are actually out. Like there's an umbrella stand that has like a couple stabs in it, and lightning's arcing to those and like going down them and hitting the umbrella stand. You leap over the table and you're like right by lightning. What do you do, Jax?
Well, but he's not really. Is he directly threatening somebody as he runs? I mean,
No,
he isn't actually.
not yet.
Well, I'm gonna try grab something. Since I don't think since it looks like lightning, I don't really want to run into it. But you said there's some artifacts sitting out. I'd like to grab one of them and see if I can interrupt its path. Just
Okay.
hurl it.
The closest thing is one of the staffs I mentioned.
Okay. But he's kind of electrified those, or
It passes through.
Oh, okay.
It's just that's one of the things at Arc too. I was just trying to be
I'll
really
just leap over
descriptive.
there and grab it. And
Okay.
just try in one movement just to grab it and just swing it to just break the path of the.
Okay.
Just to slow, because I can't see what it is other than lightning, but just slow it down. I know it's got the same aspect.
Let's do an unleash your powers. We'll use your acrobatics as the...
Okay.
Actually, you know what? No, don't worry about that. You get to it, you grab it, roll plus freak.
Okay. So it's 9, my freak is -1, so 8.
Okay. You give influence to something called Eldritch Power on your sheet.
Okay.
And when you bring the staff out, since your thought was stop him, he is stopped. Mid-stride, suspended animation, full-on stopped. He has the Tempest Auspex in his hand. It's like in his fingers. The lightning is like stopped mid-arc, like in the air, and he's just frozen in space. He's not dropping to the ground or anything. He's just literally just stopped. It's like you stopped time for him or something. And the Eldritch Power that you just accessed, it's going to ask you for something at some point.
Oh. How much job fun. I'll need a favor. You're right now. Tomorrow.
Let's see. We haven't been to Deke for a little bit, so we'll go back to him. What are you up to in there?
Alright, let's see. Do I feel that Hawk has, left the building, so to speak?
Yeah, you notice Hawk left.
Alright, so there's option A, which is run away. Option 2, keep on, fixing with anything that I can get my hands on. Or option 3, get him talking, because, evil villains like to do that.
Okay. Which one are you going to go with?
I am going to kind of distract him using Are You Watching Closely?
Okay.
And basically I'm just kind of like, hey, Ballon, I don't think you're going to work so well in here, man. I got an upper hand. That is a 4 plus my superior, which is a 3, plus the Eldritch action influence. So that's a 4, so I get an 8.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, I get to choose 2 of those. I get an opportunity, and then I can fuse them.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
What do you want? Let's see. What's your ultimate goal here? What do you want to do?
My ultimate goal is him to reveal something that could potentially be his downfall, or at least allow me to sucker punch him.
Okay. I'm going to say that he actually notices that you're right when you said that he's doesn't have as much influence here as he thought.
Mm-hmm.
So his lapse in thinking makes his control thing just dissolve, and he kind of just drops to one of the Escher-like stairways that's in this place, and he's just like frozen for a moment, and he's trying to find you. I'm assuming you're still doing the hop around kind of thing. So he's just he's like scanning, looking for you. You have your opportunity if you want to.
Right. And then from there, I'm going to unleash my power and psychic assault him.
That is a directly engage.
Directly engage, since we're not.
Unleash your power would be just if you were altering the environment in some way, like unleashing your power to make a cage or something.
Alright, so directly engage. That is an 8 plus my, danger? Which is a 0, so it's still an 8, plus the 1 from the Eldritch, so 9.
The 1 from the Eldritch was just a 1 time.
Oh, it's a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Alright, so still an 8.
Okay.
So it's still a success.
Yes.
And let's see.
Okay.
I can't create an opportunity because I'm the only one in his head unless I assume that his physical form can be, kind of done. Let's see, resist or avoid the blows or take something from them. Let's see, how about I take a little bit of his power, of his ability to manipulate the landscape in there.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, you can do I'll let you do whatever you want with the landscape at the moment. So,
Alright,
what
so
do you want to turn it into?
I'm going to turn it into a top. He's just basically going to be spinning around and around the entire time. He's completely disoriented.
Okay, that works perfectly. We're going to jump out. Hawk, you noticed that after everything that happened with Lightning and Jax, you noticed Rebecca was like getting ready to go to just jump and grab the Tempest Auspex, but she gets dizzy. It looks like she's just really like the typical like woozy baby kind of like thing, and then she just like falls down like she's got vertigo like crazy.
Wait, Rebecca's dizzy?
Rebecca.
I thought he was in Vegas.
He must have been in both.
Alright.
Or he's hopping from one to the other.
I want to get hold of the Tempest Auspex.
Okay.
Shike?
What?
Shike it?
Yeah.
You just using your telekinesis on it? Okay, go ahead and unleash your power.
And now that ooh, I'm still hopeless.
Yeah, you are.
Run away.
Okay. 10 though, that's good. So 11 minus 2 is 9. So the 9 market condition, or the TM will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
Would you rather mark a condition or have me tell you how it's unstable or temporary?
All these conditions.
Just keep on taking them.
What are you up to? How many?
I've got 2 right now. This will be 3 again.
Oh, that's not that bad.
I'm mark angry because it doesn't seem like I can get my powers to work right, and I'm just
Okay. You're angry, but you get a hold of it. You have it.
Anger gets things done.
As soon as it touches your hand, I think what label it would work with. Go ahead and roll plus superior.
I got 5, 6, 7.
Okay, what time period are you thinking of right at the moment? Present day?
Yeah, I'm totally focused on the battle.
Okay. For just a moment, you can see every outcome of this battle. You can see all your friends dead. You can see all your friends victorious. You can see Greaseball Lightning victorious in what he was trying to do, which means that he and Russ are no longer in the room. You see a portal open up that looks like it's to the past, and they're both in it, and they're back there. You can see Magus, Justinian, and Rebecca. You can see both of what they would have done if they got a hold of it. Magus, Justinian, it's like immediately he's rewriting recent history. Specifically, he is freeing most of the villains from the brick, like large amounts of them, just letting them, erasing whatever past got them there and just making it so that they're not there anymore. Rebecca's, she is making it so that you guys didn't defeat Marionette and you didn't defeat Negasun, and instead of doing those two things, they both succeeded at what they were trying to do. So the city is an ice wasteland, and Marionette also frees all the prisoners from the brick. I think that's good enough.
What's it for? Shade's successful.
Oh, okay. Rorschach's thing was Tempest Auspex is safely locked away in his sanctum, and it's next to the withered hand thing, just in that same, because it's in a similar case, it's just bigger, so it actually looks quite nice right next to it. Safely tucked away.
Since both Rebecca and Magus would have used it to rewrite time, is that something that I think I can do?
You can attempt to,
Okay.
if you unleash your powers.
Alright, I'll do that. I want to repair, because it's broken right now, yeah.
The Auspex itself is fine.
Okay.
The case that it was in is broken.
Oh, okay. Then,
Could you try sending a message to yourself in the past?
well, I could. I don't see how that would be helpful.
Let me jump to Wheels for a second. What are you doing, Wheels? Your future self is frozen. It's in mid-stride. All the electricity's still... No, it's just, it's frozen. It's like paused. Like someone hit pause on a Blu-ray or something. And, there's even an arc that's like mid-arc about to hit one of the shelves. And it's just frozen in mid-arc. Rebecca's fallen on the ground and looks like she's unable to get up. Like she actually looks kind of green, like she's getting sick. Magus Justinian has got these like glowing purple binds all the way around him, and he's he's just completely bound. He looks like he's taken care of, physically anyway. Rorschade is maintaining that and also staring at Hawk, because Hawk is standing there with this in his hand, and there's like this pregnant pause kind of thing where everybody's just kind of like, what's going on? What's going to happen now that he has this in his hand? And you saw Jax grab the artifact and use it to press pause on Greaseball Lightning. So what do you do?
And he has the artifact?
He does.
I don't want to take it from him.
Then don't.
And don't? I'm gonna just tell him to give it to Russ.
Rorschade. Yeah. Okay. You hear like from a distance, his voice is kind of like echoing to you. You get the impression you're like outside of time, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Like you entered some sort of slipstream and you're just waiting to pick something.
Can I real quick like go back and unmess up some of the people that we messed up?
I can try.
I'm trying to figure some initiatives out.
Yeah.
Who specifically?
The pool hall guy.
Okay. If I can, you want to undo the pool guy? Pool hall guy.
Keystroke.
6, and it was Unleash Your Powers.
Yep.
So plus Freak is 7, but I've got a -2 to Unleash My Powers, so that's 5.
Okay.
Double stroke.
So,
I'm back.
This explains how I get blamed for it.
what is Marshall's earliest memory?
Just being hungry and abandoned.
Okay. A new memory that's earlier than that plays out in front of you, and it's you as an infant, but you know it's you. Like you're a baby, and you're floating in a chamber, a glass chamber that has like this greenish clear fluid in it. And you're just like floating there, and at a control console next to the chamber that's hooked up to it, you see somebody typing, and it's the Shadow Man from the Mindscape you were just at. What's your emotional reaction to that? Your characters.
I'm really surprised.
Okay. So
I
shocked.
thought I just came from 2 random people.
To you guys, you're still in the Mindscape.
I was on the Mindscape.
To you two, Jackson Wheels, he starts to flicker, like in and out of. It's almost like when he teleported earlier, but it's happening like really rapidly.
Oh.
Like
Yeah.
like just in and out.
Back to the Future.
What do you guys do?
Call tone. See if we can,
He can't. You can tell he can't even hear you.
hear.
You are literally like in the past and the present at the moment.
But he's still got the aspect.
Yeah, it's in his hand.
Okay. Well, this doesn't look good. We need to get that to Rorschade. I might try to stealth it out of his grasp.
Okay, go ahead and unleash your powers.
Okay. Oh no. Oh dear. 4.
So you go to when you go to grab it, you let go of the staff. Lightning immediately comes back into action. He sees Hawk with the Auspex, and he goes to grab it, but when he grabs at him, he flickers out, flickers back in, and their hands are touching. You feel lightning surge through your body. That what you saw melts away. There's like a soft explosion, if that makes any sense. It's like the air being let out of a room fast. And suddenly you guys are in the same building, but the top is destroyed. The walls are crumbling, and you can see out at the skyline, and it's completely different. Everything is bigger. Everything's taller. Everything's more built up. Everything looks like it has smooth glass surfaces. There's neon and LED everywhere.
We just jumped into Blade Runner.
Pretty much, yeah. You can tell you went to the future. And just as you guys are starting to figure out what's happening, you're fine now, by the way.
Okay.
Lightning grabs the Auspex out of your hands, snatches it from you, and you see these drones coming in from the distance. They actually look like something you've seen Eagle working on before. Mm-hmm. They're like, he calls them his talons. It's like this future project that he wants to eventually finish, but he just keeps putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. But they're bigger than he was designing them. He was designing them as small things that had this like, eagle beak kind of shape to them, and they would be able to just kind of fly around and scope things out for him. Sort of like Superior Spider-Man's little spider creatures in the comic. But these are big, and each one of them is big. The front of them has these 2 barrels sticking out of them, and they're all floating near you, and they just immediately start saying things like scanning unidentified superpower beings and stuff like that. The key people that you notice aren't here. You notice that Rebecca's not here, and Magus Justinian aren't here. Deke is here, but he's still doesn't seem to be here. He's physically here. His body's here. You don't know where his mind is. And there's about 7 or 8 of these drone things in the air. And that's when lightning takes off and jumps from one to the next, and they blow up as he goes up them. And then he's gone with the Auspex. And the remnants of these things just fall out of the sky. Now you three, you're not seeing this. Yeah. But Hawk and Jax, you guys, it just literally looks like he turns into lightning and just goes from one to the next. You, though, you actually see how he can do it, and you're like, I've never thought of doing that before. It's basically like long jumping. It's like long jumping with super speed, using the lightning to propel him forward. And it's like, he long jumps to one, as soon as he hits it, the lightning discharges, he long jumps to the next one, as soon as he hits it, discharges, and he just does it until they're all gone. And then he's out.
That's kind of like what happened in the volleyball game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to call it.
Sorry, gang. I didn't know that dropping a stab would send us to the future.
Next time on Super Punks 2049.
So, I consider that a victory for him at a cost to the world around him. Right?
Crossing it off?
Circling.
Is that...
Yeah. Because, it's circle it, and then when you know about something, you circle it, and then when you see it happen, then you cross it out.
Correct.
So I guess...
And you can still circle things that have been crossed out.
Right.
So I would cross that out, actually, because it's sort of been replicated.
Okay.
I wouldn't circle it yet, because you don't know if that's happened to him before, if it's something he's done before.
Oh, gotcha. So you can strike it out and then circle it, or vice versa.
Yeah, if you learn about a situation where he's done something like that before, you can circle it later.
Like Defining Adonis was...
Yeah, that was one you learned about the past. And then you strike out ones that replicate.
Okay.
I have a feeling that my mom is going to be really angry that I didn't stay in my room.
So did everybody mark all the potential that they were supposed to mark?
I didn't fail anything, so...
Yeah, I didn't mark any of the potentials.
You just failed a roll.
Yeah, I just got one mark then.
Is that the only roll you failed?
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I failed to unleash my powers on the Tempest.
On the last one,
Yes. Okay.
One more.
I failed both.
One more
Did
failure.
you mark them both? Yeah. Okay, good.
One more failure.
I failed in assess, right? When we were at the factory.
Yeah, the first one you did, and then you only got to ask, the one separate question.
Yeah. You guys are going to have fun in the future.
Oh, man.
Well, I should say a future. Obviously, you guys...
Not a future, but...
You guys moving to the future has changed things.
You gotta get back.
You do.
Get the whole lawsuit thing. That's gonna be so good.
How's it going to deal with my brain being in 2 places at once, technically? Physical brain's one place, the consciousness of the brain, another complete different place. Or if it's because it's the same place but at the same time, and oh my god, I've gone cross-eyed.
I figured we'd just have to drag you around like Weekend at Bernie's style.
Or like Star Trek Spock's brain. You just put like a little control collar and like walk.
I don't know what we're going to do. That's why I didn't even go back to you. So hopefully that's okay. Because I think I need some time to figure this out. What happens in this reality if that happens?
Unless, of course, I gain astral plane abilities. And then in which case it kind of explains how I can cross time, but just not on a physical scale.
Here you did cross, but since he's not here anymore, you're still controlling his mind, but he's...
Actually, you know what I think I'm going to do? Whose head were you in?
I was in Magus.
I think you're still in his head in the future.
So what, am I like a co-rider along with him, or am I part of a triumvirate?
I don't know. We're going to have to figure that out.
The Shadow,
But that's what I think would happen.
Shadow, Egg, Justinian, and Deke all in one body. Obviously, you can tell what I'm doing. I'm just, screwing around every chance I get.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'll put like messages like Deke was here.
There will probably be some custom moves that I'm going to develop for this.
Sounds cool.
That's everything, huh?
That's what happens when you mess with time magic.
Okay.
So now you've got all kinds of stuff to investigate.
Yeah.
Oops.
Fun session?
Yeah.
Good. I was trying to do the slice of life thing before I fucked it all up for you guys.
A little bit of normalcy, and
You see how many sessions it takes for you guys to get back to the past.
Yeah, maybe Michelangelo ends up as a hero in this timeline.
I gotta do all kinds of fun stuff. I don't even know how far in the future you jumped.
you just jump.
You just jumped.
It would be amazing if it was only 2 years. It's like, wait, when you're saying that we're not in this universe, apparently technology advances at such a rapid rate, right? And everything has been like accelerated 50 years. But yeah, basically, you're kind of holding everyone back now.
Do we even go back?
Alternate realities, alternate universes.
Well, without you there, people that you're attached to have different outcomes to there. So
It's not like we were never there.
oh no, you were there up until the moment that you jumped forward. And who knows? Maybe you jumping forward is what destroyed the building you're standing in.
Should have tried to grab it.
What?
I should have tried to grab it.
Well,
You were going there regardless.
well, no, that's not the case at all, actually.
So I should have not
No,
done that. Dang it.
that makes it worse.
So, the only note I have about an outcome involving the Tempest Auspex is, if this outcome occurs, the last panel should be a splash panel of Halcyon City, either in the past or the dark future. 1949 or some unspecified future. So, if you would have grabbed it, thinking I might have gone the other way. And then you guys would have been the ones dressed weird.
Yeah.
How would that play with future self then? Would a future self also have been a child then?
Who would have been in the past? No, as an adult.
Oh, as an adult. So he would have been visited.
That's what he wanted to do.
He wanted to go to
That's what he saw. What he wanted to do was go in the past with you.
Passing me out.
I don't know. If you can ever catch him, maybe he'll be able to talk to you about it.
He would learn some of his moves.
About what he wants to do.
Or you give him the Schwarzenegger. Oh, your character wouldn't even know about Schwarzenegger dialogue. I am you, you are me, you are a clone.
Like get caught up on recent hop.
Do you have something where you can take a power that you've seen him use? I've been trying to lace those in because I thought you did.
It's one of my instants, so it's like going into power. So it's like unleash your power, future self can do.
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
And I haven't used it because I really don't know what powers he has. I didn't.
That was why I figured I would give you a couple things
to go off.
Yeah.
So it's like, because Greaseball is basically just by himself, whatever.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
He comes and goes.
I don't want to give anything away. That's what I've got in the back of my head.
All right.
I haven't even solidified it because that's the point. I mean, my prep for this game is so different from any other game. I basically set things that are in motion, and then let you guys run into them.
And then go from.
And if you don't run into them, the things stay in motion and progress. Okay. So there's like all these things that I have just in motion that you guys could encounter in any particular session. And if you encounter them, that's awesome. If you don't, they get further in motion.
They progress.
And some of them could get to the point where the momentum gets big enough that something you guys may not have even seen coming happens, even though in the back of my mind it's been setting up this entire time.
I kind of get that with the HK thing. I'm like,
yeah,
I noticed like they're still working on it even when I'm in school or whatever.
That's one of the things. And I was hoping to bring in more of the names that we've already known for this one, but it'll certainly be interesting next time.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Green Hill Gamer Guild podcast. If you'd like to find more information out about the guild, go to greenhillgamerguild.com, where you can find all kinds of information about us and current and past episodes. If you like what we've done, give us a review and click subscribe. Thank you, and we hope you have a wonderful day.